Tired of distractions derailing your dreams every single day? In this audiobook world masterclass, grab the exact blueprint to stay dangerously focused until nothing pulls you off track. Discover 3 game-changing takeaways: how to crush multitasking myths, build ruthless no power, and unlock deep workflow that skyrockets results. Hit subscribe and use chapter timestamps below to jump in. Your unbreakable focus starts now. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing on a jagged cliffside at dusk, wind howling like 1,000 voices pulling you every which way. Below, waves crash against rocks, relentless, chaotic. That's your mind right now, isn't it? A storm of notifications, doubts, endless scrolls, whispering temptations that threaten to drag you under. But what if I told you there's a fire inside you, fierce and unyielding, that can cut through it all? A dangerous focus that turns chaos into conquest. This isn't just a book. It's your wake-up call. Breathe deep. You're about to learn how to stay locked in, unbreakable, until nothing, no one can pull you away. Let's ignite that fire together. Chapter 1. The Myth of the Scattered Flame. Imagine a lone wolf on a frozen tundra at midnight, eyes fixed on a distant flicker of light, a fire that promises warmth against the biting wind. That wolf doesn't glance left at rustling shadows or right at fleeting hares. No, it moves with a singular, savage purpose, every muscle honed toward that flame. Now picture yourself in the chaos of your own life. Emails exploding like fireworks, voices pulling from every corner, your mind a whirlwind chasing sparks that lead nowhere. Feel that pull, that exhaustion. You've been told you can juggle it all, be the superhuman multitasker conquering the world. But deep down you know it's a lie, a dangerous, soul-scattering myth. Welcome to the first step of your awakening. Today, we shatter it together. This myth of multitasking isn't just a bad habit. It's a thief dressed as progress. It whispers that dividing your attention makes you more, when really it makes you less. Fragmented, weary, forever chasing but never arriving. Think of the ancient potter at his wheel, hands steady on wet clay. If he splits his gaze to the river, to the birds overhead, to the villagers calling his name, what emerges? A lopsided vessel, useless for holding water or wine. Your life is that clay, my friend. Every scattered moment warps the shape of your dreams. Let me take you to Maria, a woman I once knew in a small coastal town, her days blurring into nights under fluorescent office lights. She was the queen of efficiency, answering client calls while drafting reports, sneaking social feeds during meetings, even planning dinner in her head mid-conversation. Promotions came, sure, but so did the hollow ache. Her novel, the one burning in her chest for years, gathered digital dust. Headaches throbbed like accusations. One rainy evening, staring at her reflection in a fogged window, she saw it, her flames scattered into embers, too weak to warm her own soul. That night, she chose differently. She picked one task, her writing, and poured everything into it. No tabs open, no pings allowed. In 3 months, pages flowed like the tide she watched from her desk. Agents called, her scattered self buried. Science echoes this truth with cold precision. Your brain isn't wired for simultaneity, it's a sequential beast. When you toggle between tasks, you don't parallel process. You restart, over and over, leaking precious cognitive fuel. Studies from labs in quiet universities show it clear. Productivity plummets by up to 40%. That email you dashed off while on a call, error-ridden. That workout squeezed between errands, half-hearted, forgotten by noon. We're not machines with infinite threads. We're flames, fierce and finite. Multitasking fans the wind that extinguishes us. But here's the deeper wound. This myth doesn't just steal time. It erodes your essence. Feel it, that quiet voice inside, drowned by the noise, pleading for depth over breadth. In a world obsessed with hustle highlights, we glorify the scatter, posting our busy badges like trophies, yet the greats, the ones who reshape history, whisper a different secret. They tunnel, they obsess. Consider the lighthouse keeper on a storm-lashed rock, beam cutting endless black sea. Does it flicker to passing ships or distant stars? It holds one course, saving lives in its unwavering gaze. You have that beam within you, waiting to pierce your own fog. Pause with me now. Close your eyes if you can, right here in this moment. Breathe into the center of your chest. What is your one flame? That project whispering in your quiet hours? The relationship aching for presence? The skill that could redefine your path? Name it silently. Feel its pull. This chapter isn't about renouncing the world. It's about reclaiming your power to choose it fiercely. Dangerous focus begins here, in the rubble of the multitasking lie. It's not restraint, it's rebellion. It's saying to the chaos, not today, my flame burns singular. Let that settle in your bones. Maria didn't stop at pages. She built a life around them, walks by the sea for inspiration, mornings sealed from the world. Her scattered friends marveled, then envied, as her light grew. Yours can too, but myths die hard. They cling like shadows at dusk. So ask yourself, how many embers have you spread today? How much richer would your soul feel with them gathered into one blaze? This foundation we're laying isn't theory. It's the spark of your transformation. You've felt the myth's grip. Now release it. Choose your clay. Steady your hands. Let the wheel spin true. As we turn toward the invisible forces waiting to test this new resolve, remember, true power isn't in doing everything. It's in doing the one thing that matters with everything you've got. Your flame awaits. Let's guard it next. Chapter 2. The Silent Siege of Invisible Thieves. Picture a grand castle at dawn, its walls towering proud against the horizon, drawbridge raised, sentries vigilant, yet beneath the stones in the cool shadows of the moat, tiny cracks spiderweb, silently unseen drips, eroding the foundation hour by hour, until the whole fortress crumbles without a battle cry. That's your focus right now, isn't it? Not stormed by dragons, but pickpocketed by whispers. The glow of a screen in your pocket, the hum of a conversation drifting through the door, the endless hum of just one more that dissolves your hours into mist. These aren't enemies you fight with swords. They're ghosts that slip past your guard, stealing the life you were meant to build. Feel the chill of that truth. We're naming them now, no more hiding. Your castle stands, but only if you seal the crack. These invisible thieves don't announce themselves with fanfare. They masquerade as harmless companions, lulling you into surrender. That fleeting glance at a news alert. It doesn't vanish. It hijacks your brain for 23 minutes, rewiring neural pathways away from your true north. The casual scroll through feeds painted with perfect lives. It plants seeds of doubt that bloom into hours lost, comparing your raw draft to someone else's highlight reel. And oh, the sweetest thief of all, procrastination dressed as preparation. That I'll get to it tomorrow, which stacks like unpaid debts until your dreams suffocate under the weight. They're not accidents, they're assassins, patient and precise, turning your potential into echoes. Let me pull back the curtain on Javier, a woodworker in the hills of northern Spain. His hands calloused from years shaping oak into heirlooms. He dreamed of a custom furniture line that would carry his name brace continents. But the thieves crept in, morning coffee with neighborhood chatter that stretched into debates, afternoon quick checks on market trends that swallowed the light, evening lures of family videos that blurred into midnight. His workbench gathered sawdust, orders dwindled to whispers. One crisp autumn day, Standing amid half-finished chairs, he felt the siege, the emptiness where his fire should roar. He didn't rage, he mapped them. A ledger of thieves, social pings, idle talks, digital rabbit holes. Then the purge, phone banished to a drawer during carving hours, door locked to visitors. Mornings claimed solely for the grain of wood under his chisel. Within a year his pieces graced homes of the elite. Javier's castle rose anew, not by force but by eviction. This siege runs deeper than time. It wounds the spirit. Each theft chips at your sovereignty, that quiet knowing of who you are when the world falls silent. In the hush of true presence, ideas ignite like stars. Thieves smother them before they shine. Reflect with me. How often have you surfaced from a distraction haze, heart-heavy with the what-ifs? What creation slipped away in that fog? These ghosts thrive on your unawareness, feeding on the energy meant for your ascent. But awareness is your lantern. Shine it. Name the cracks, the colleague's quick question that devours your flow, the habit of checking scores during breaks, the mental rehearsals of worst-case scenarios that loop like broken records. They're invisible only until you look. Envision the eagle soaring high above jagged peaks, vision locked on the river, far below where salmon leap silver against the current. Does it veer for every thermal gust or distant cry? No, it dives true, talons ready, claiming its prize. You are that eagle, born for the hunt, yet grounded by fluttering distractions we mistake for winds of change. Science maps their trail. Every switch costs a surge of glucose and dopamine, leaving you depleted, reactive, a shadow of your sharpest self. But here's your reclamation. Audit today. List your top 3 thieves, the ones that recur like uninvited guests. Beside each, write the cost. Dreams deferred, joys diluted, power surrendered. Then, the vow. For Javier it was a simple sign on his door. Creating, return at dusk. Yours might be a timer, a sacred space, a whispered mantra. This moment is mine. Feel the shift. The air clears. Your gaze sharpens. These thieves prey on the weary, the undefined. But as you name them, you forge armor, light, invisible to them, impenetrable to their touch. Javier's hands now dance with purpose. Clients wait months for his craft. His life, once sieged, now expands. Yours beckons too. Yet eviction is just the beginning. A stripped castle is vulnerable until you build the discipline to hold it. What rituals will rise in their place? What iron habits will turn silence into strength? We've exposed the ghosts. Now we temper the will to banish them forever. Step with me into that forge. Your unbreakable core awaits. Chapter 3. Forge your iron will. Feel the heat rising around you, the air thick with the clang of hammer on anvil, sparks flying like defiant stars into the night. You're not in some distant smithy. You're standing at the heart of your own forge, sweat beading on your brow, muscles trembling as you shape raw ore into something unbreakable. That burn in your chest? That's not weakness. It's the birth of power. Willpower isn't a gift handed down from the heavens or a bottomless well you dip into endlessly. No, it's a living muscle, forged in the fire of deliberate choice, tempered by the ache of resistance. You've named your thieves, now we build the will to crush them. Step into the flames with me. This is where warriors are born. Understand this deeply. Willpower depletes like a candle in the wind, but it grows stronger with every strike. Science reveals the mystery. Glucose fuels your resolve. Stress drains it. Habits replenish it, like bellows fanning the coals. Blow it out on whims and darkness falls. Train it with purpose, and it becomes a blaze that lights empires. Most wander through life, treating it as magic, crumbling when the hour grows late. But you're different. You're here to forge. Start where the ground is firm. Dawn's first light. 5 sacred minutes locked on your singular pursuit. No grand leaps. Just the steady hammer fall. Feel the resistance rise. Lean in. That's the oar bending to your command. Let me walk you through Lena's awakening. A teacher in the bustling streets of Chicago. Her classroom a whirlwind of chalk dust and young dreams. Mornings blurred into lesson plans scribbled amid coffee sips and news feeds. Her own novel, a tale of forgotten rivers trapped in notebooks under her bed. Exhaustion was her shadow. Willpower, a flickering match. One winter morning, as snow blanketed the fire escapes, she stood before her mirror and saw a stranger. Eyes dulled, shoulders slumped. "Enough," she whispered. Her forge began humbly, alarm set pre-dawn, kitchen table cleared like an altar, pen to paper for exactly 5 minutes. No more, thoughts screamed, check emails, warm the bed, tomorrow's fine, she hammered through. Day 2, the burn deepened. Week 1, words flowed like thawed streams. Months later, her book deal arrived. Pages alive with the rivers of her soul. Lena's iron will didn't arrive whole. She forged it, strike by deliberate strike. This forging touches the spirit's core, where excuses meet their end. Reflect, how many times have you felt that inner pull toward ease, only to regret the hollow aftermath? Willpower is your soul's voice, rising above the body's pleas. It's the monk perched on his cliffside ledge, legs numb after days of stillness, gales whipping his robes, yet his mind a tranquil sea reflecting endless sky. He doesn't clench against the wind, he becomes it unmoved, eternal. You carry that same essence. Begin tonight, identify your dawn ritual. Perhaps it's breathwork tracing the curve of your ambition, or fingers tracing keys to birth code that changes lives. 5 minutes expands to 10, then hours as the muscle thickens. Doubt will howl, that's the slag burning off. Welcome it. Each victory etches grooves in your will, paths worn smooth for effortless return. Picture the ancient blade maker in his mountain hut, selecting ore not by shine but by hidden strength. Heating it red hot, pounding until impurities weep away. Your will is that blade, rough at first, yielding to the hammer, emerging keen enough to sever chains. Daily practice builds neural highways, shortcuts where resolve once labored. Lena's students noticed the shift, her presence sharpened, lessons ignited. Her novel, it now inspires classrooms worldwide. Yours waits in the forge. But beware the illusion of waiting for motivation. It trails willpower like a shadow. Strike first, and light follows. Journal it, tonight. Commit your ritual to ink. Tomorrow, execute. Feel the power surge. That's sovereignty reclaiming its throne. We've laid the foundation, myths shattered, thieves named. Now we'll forged in fire. Lena's rivers run free because she chose the anvil over comfort. Yours will too. This iron core holds against sieges, but a fortress needs gates, decisions that bar the unworthy. What boundaries will you etch next, turning this strength into an impenetrable stand? The hammer pauses, the next strike calls. Walk with me there. Your will is ready. Chapter 4. The power of ruthless nose. Hear the thunderous roar of a lioness on the sun-baked savannah, her golden form coiled amid tall grasses. Every sense locked on the gazelle grazing unaware. Prey darts left, shadows flicker right. But she doesn't flinch, doesn't chase the easy rabbits or distant herds. In that suspended breath, she embodies the sacred art of refusal. Eyes burning with intent, muscles primed for the one kill that sustains her pride. Now feel that same wild power stirring in you, right here, as the world's endless invitations claw at your edges. Join us. Try this. Just a little time. You've forged your will. Now wield it as a blade. Ruthless no's aren't cruelty. They're the thunder that clears your path. Say it, with me, in your soul. Enough. Your reign begins. This power slices through the illusion that yes builds empires. Every unchecked yes scatters your essence like chaff in the wind, diluting the river of your destiny into trickling streams. Life's chorus sings of abundance in acceptance, but true abundance blooms in sacred refusal. Picture the river carving canyons through stone, not by embracing every tributary, but by rejecting the shallow ones, channeling fury into depth. Your energy is that river, finite and fierce. Squander it on every ripple, and you etch no mark. Guard it ruthlessly, and you sculpt eternities. No's are your chisel, carving space for the monumental. Meet Thomas, a budding chef in the vibrant markets of Marrakech. Spices dancing in the air, like whispered secrets. His dream? A restaurant where his fusion of desert herbs and sea flavors would draw pilgrims from afar. But the calls came relentless. Family feasts to host, friends' pop-up stalls to man, side catering gigs promising quick coin. Yes after yes piled his days into exhaustion, his signature dishes sketched on napkins that yellowed unused. One starlit night, amid the call to prayer, echoing off adobe walls, he shattered a plate in quiet fury. Not anger at the world, but at his own yielding. Dawn brought reckoning, to his sister's wedding plea. No, my fire needs tending. To the neighbor's market help. No, my flavors wait for no one, even to sleep's soft tug past midnight. His kitchen became sanctuary, doors bolted, pots singing solo symphonies. Months wove into mastery, his opening night overflowed, critics hailing the birth of legend. Thomas's no's weren't loss, they were lifelines. Spiritually, this cuts to your divine core, the knowing that you are not a vessel for others' spills, but a chalice for your own nectar. Feel the ache of diffused purpose. It's the soul protesting dilution. In stillness, ask, what yeses have hollowed you lately? The meeting you dreaded yet attended, the favor that stole your spark. Ruthless no's reclaim that nectar, letting it rise pure and potent. They're spoken not in venom, but velvet resolve. No, thank you, my path calls elsewhere. Practice in the mirror, voice steady as ancient oaks. Each utterance fortifies, turning vulnerability to velvet steel. Thomas's family gathered not in resentment, but awe, tasting his triumph at long last. Envision the master archer on mist-shrouded moors, bow-drawn taut world fading to the target's heart. Arrows of distraction whistle by, birds wheeling, winds moaning, yet his no is absolute, release true, bullseye claimed. You are that archer, bow of will now strung, deliver your no's with grace. Pause before responding, heart consulting vision, words emerging as gentle thunder. I cherish our bond, but this season belongs to my creation. Watch bonds deepen, not fray, true allies, honor your sovereignty. Science nods. Boundaries boost cortisol balance, freeing prefrontal clarity for genius. Thomas's menu evolved in that freedom, layers unfolding like spice revelations. Yet power tempts misuse, wield with wisdom. No's preserve, but must align with your North Star, the dream etched in Chapter 1. Journal nightly, 3 no's spoken, their gifts received. Feel the expansion. Space breathes life into latent genius. Thomas now mentors apprentices, his ruthless dawn echoing in their rising stars. Yours ripples too. This blade hones your edge, but a warrior needs terrain shaped to advantage. What sacred grounds will rise next, amplifying every strike? The path unfolds. Claim it. Chapter 5. Design your battlefield. Breathe in the crisp scent of pine as dawn breaks over a samurai's secluded dojo, mist curling like ghosts from the tatami mats, every stone polished, every bamboo stalk aligned in perfect symmetry. He doesn't charge into war amid marketplace clamor or tangled underbrush. No, he crafts his arena first, walls echoing only his ki, air humming with intent, distractions banished like fallen leaves, swept clean. Feel that sacred order pulsing through you now. Your world isn't neutral. It's a battlefield rigged for chaos or conquest. You've said your ruthless no's, now shape the ground where they land. This isn't mere tidying, it's alchemy, turning ordinary space into a forge of unbreakable triumphs. Step onto your mat. The design begins. Environments whisper commands to your subconscious, shaping focus before you even decide. Cluttered desks breed scattered thoughts. Like roots choked by weeds, open tabs flicker like enemy signals, pulling your gaze from the kill. Science unveils the silent war. Visual noise spikes cortisol, fragments attention spans into shards. But a curated realm, it drops heart rates, sharpens neural fire, invites flow like a river to the sea. You're not fighting uphill against entropy, you're architecting descent into mastery. Start with subtraction, remove not just the mess, but the emotional anchors, that photo stirring old regrets, the gadget humming temptations. Add only what serves, a single candle's glow, views laid like offerings, walls painted in colors that stir your soul's deepest hunger. Journey with me to Aisha, a graphic designer in the sun-drenched alleys of Cape Town, her apartment a tomb of half-finished sketches amid take-out boxes and blinking screens. Visions of album covers that could redefine music, worlds danced in her mind, yet her days dissolved in digital sludge, endless mood boards, comparison spirals, couch slumps into Netflix voids. One stormy afternoon, thunder rattling her windows like a call to arms, she saw the truth. Her space conspired against her. She purged, walls stripped to soft ochre, evoking Namibian dunes. Desk cleared to one sketchpad, one stylus, a vase of Proteus for wild inspiration. Laptop exiled to a locked drawer, phone silenced in a far cupboard. A single bulb hung above, casting focused light like a spotlight on her canvas. Mornings became ritual, incense lit, space blessed with intention. Ideas surged, no longer whispers but torrents. Her first client, a global band's masterpiece cover. Galleries followed. Aisha's battlefield won her the war. This design awakens something ancient in your spirit, the innate pull toward harmony, where outer order mirrors inner peace. Ponder it. How does your current terrain betray you? The kitchen table littered with bills inviting financial fret. The bedroom desk, where rest and work bleed into resentment. Sacred spaces honor your higher self, signaling here, creation reigns. Infuse ritual, morning sweep as meditation, evening audit to realign. Aisha hung a mirror etched with her mantra, vision unchained, to catch wandering eyes, pulling them back to purpose. Yours might breathe plants that filter air and soul, or a low hum of waves crashing, sinking brainwaves to alpha calm. Feel the shift. Resistance melts, genius stirs. Imagine the eagle's eyrie high on sheer cliffs, nest woven tight from twigs and down, windswept yet secure, vantage unmatched for the hunt below. No stray feathers, no intruding vines, purity amplifies instinct. You craft that eyrie now. Zone your realm, creation corner shielded from household tides. Perhaps a folding screen or curtain drawn like a veil between worlds. Tech, tamed apps blocked during golden hours. Notifications slain. Science confirms, Minimalism frees 20% more cognitive bandwidth, birthing insights in the quiet. Aisha's proteas wilted once. She replaced them fresh weekly, renewing her vow. Track yours. Photograph before and after. Witness the transformation etched in light. Yet true battlefields evolve. Adapt to seasons of your soul. Aisha added a corkboard for fleeting sparks, pinned then pursued or released. Journal the feel. Does this corner ignite or soothe? Adjust ost, odurst, mercy. Her covers now adorn festivals. Collaborators seek her vision. Yours expands in this sanctuary. We've forged will, drawn boundaries, now grounded them in space that amplifies every breath. Aisha's dunes called her home. Your battlefield called you to obsession's edge. What holy fire will blaze there next? Uncontained and consuming, the arena awaits your command. Chapter 6. Harness the energy of obsession. Sense the raw pulse of a lone alchemist in his cavernous tower, flames leaping from a cauldron that bubbles with molten gold, his eyes wild with unblinking rapture as vapors swirl like captured dreams. He hasn't eaten, hasn't slept. Time dissolves in the grip of one consuming quest, transmuting lead into eternal light. No stray glance at the storm raging outside, no pause for the messenger's knock. That intoxicating blaze courses through you now, doesn't it? Calling from the depths where ordinary focus pales. Obsession isn't a curse to fear, it's sacred fire ethically unleashed, propelling you beyond human limits. Your battlefield stands ready, now flood it with this relentless energy. Ignite. Let it consume the tame and birth the legendary. Obsession redefines power, not as scattered sparks, but a supernova compressing all force into one blinding point. It hijacks your neurology, flooding dopamine rivers that drown doubt, time warping into elastic realms where hours feel like heartbeats. Most recall labeling it mania, yet history's architects thrived in its embrace. The cartographer charting unknown seas through tempests, lines etched by candlelight until continents emerged from void. Your spirit craves this, not mild interest, but soul-deep immersion that reshapes reality. Ethical obsession honors boundaries, fueling self-chosen summits, not destruction. Identify yours, that invention haunting your sketches, the melody looping in silent nights, the thesis burning for revelation. Claim it. Let it devour distractions, forging breakthroughs from the marrow. Witness Elias, a violinist in the fog-veiled streets of Edinburgh, his strings silent for years, amid pub gigs and day jobs that dulled his edge. A haunting refrain haunted him, a concerto weaving highland winds with urban heartbeats. Yet life layered it under survival's ash. One equinox eve, as bagpipes wailed from distant festivals, the obsession broke free. He locked his flat violin in hand and dove. Days blurred, scales dissected at dawn, harmonies layered till fingers bled, recordings looped in trance. Food forgotten, sleep a thief, he repelled. Neighbors pounded walls, he nodded through the door, bow never pausing. Ethical, utterly. His fire harmed none, only birthed beauty. 6 moons later, his premiere filled Usher Hall, critics weeping at the winds made manifest. Elias didn't chase obsession, he surrendered, letting it sculpt him into maestro. This energy touches the eternal in you, the divine madness poets chase, where ego dissolves into pure creation. Ponder, what if your deepest pull isn't whim, but destiny's compass? Obsession amplifies intuition, surfacing wisdom from subconscious oceans. Practice immersion, block golden hours, immerse senses, play the motif on repeat, sketch prototypes till forms breathe, research till veins pulse with knowledge. Elias taped phrases to his mirror. Winds rise, Yours might echo your core, feel resistance crack. That's the husk peeling. Spiritually, it's union, self as vessel for something vast, pouring through without waste. Envision the pearl diver plunging into abyss depths, lungs burning, world above forgotten in pursuit of the iridescent core. No half measures, obsession demands all, yielding treasures surface dwellers never touch. Neuroscience maps it, hyperfocus thickens myelin sheaths, speeding mastery pathways. Elias toured continents, his concerto a global hymn. Yours beckons, anchor ethically. Set sunsets for rest. Nourish the body as temple. Journal nightly. What consumed me today? What emerged? Watch genius compound, yet obsession tests fidelity. Stray, and it flickers. Guard it like flame in gale. Elias's winds now inspire orchestras. His obsession rippled eternities. Yours will too, transforming battlefield into launchpad. This fire burns hot, but even infernos need swift recovery when embers dim. What arts will master the snapback, turning stumbles into strides? The dive deepens, surrender further. Chapter 7. Master the art of recovery. Watch the bamboo bend double in a ferocious typhoon. Trunk creaking under the onslaught, leaves shredding like frantic prayers. Yet it doesn't snap. It sways, roots gripping earth, then springs back upright, stronger, greener, whispering defiance to the dying winds. That's you in this moment, isn't it? Not the rigid oak that shatters, but the resilient stalk tested by inevitable gales. Distractions will crash, obsessions waver, thieves slip through unseen cracks. But recovery isn't rising unscathed. It's the elegant snapback that defines legends. You've harnessed the fire, now master the rebound. Feel the storm break. This art turns every fall into fuel. Rise with me. Your elasticity awaits. Recovery elevates you from victim to virtuoso, transforming stumbles into symphonies of growth. The brain's default, rumination loops that chain you to the mud, replaying errors till paralysis sets in. But masters rewire. Notice the drift in seconds, anchor breath, reclaim the axis. Science charts the path. Prefrontal cortex reignites via vagus nerve pulses. 3 deliberate inhales slashing stress hormones by half, catapulting you to peak clarity. It's not avoidance, it's alchemy. Mining setbacks for sharper aim. Train like the bamboo, scripted rituals, drilled till instinctive, turning chaos into choreography. Victimhood whispers defeat. Recovery roars renaissance. Step into Kale's world, a stock trader in Tokyo's neon labyrinth, screens flickering like restless gods. One dawn trade spiraled, a rogue algorithm, billions evaporated in heartbeats, leaving him hollow-eyed amid skyscraper shadows. Past selves would spiral blame markets, numb with sake, weeks lost to fog. But his forge had taught him recovery's code. He rose from the desk, palms to chest, 3 ocean breaths sinking ribs to calm. Lesson etched, he murmured, naming the floor over leveraged hope. Back to charts in 90 seconds, adjustments etched live. That day's pivot, a fortune reclaimed. Strategies battle-tested. Kale didn't erase the loss, he harvested it, emerging with portfolios that danced through crashes. His office now holds a bamboo stalk, silent mentor. This mastery stirs the soul's quiet warrior, where falls reveal hidden sinews. Pause and feel. How long do your slips linger, staining the day? Recovery honors your wholeness. No event owns you. You author the return. Spiritually, it's grace embodied, the river diverted by boulders, carving new channels till it rejoins the flow. Deeper, wider. Kale's ritual evolved. Affirmation scrawled. Pivot fuels precision. Yours begins simple. Spot the hook. mind wandering. Alert chirp, anchor, cascade, realign vision snapshot. Practice mid-stride, during walks let thoughts stray. Then snap, count the seconds shrinking. Joy blooms here, each rebound a victory etched in neural gold. Picture the tightrope walker, high above canyon mists, foot slipping on dew-slick wire, heart plummeting, yet hands whip pole, body arcs, balance reborn in a breath. Spectators gasp, he smiles, striding onward. You walk that wire daily, build cues, a wristband snap, a scent-triggered recall, a single word thunder. Return. Neuroscience affirms spaced repetition mileates these paths, slashing recovery from minutes to heartbeats. Kale mentors novices now, his bamboo thriving beside bonsai trades. Track yours, log drifts and rebounds nightly, watch elasticity compound, resistance fades, flow endures. Yet, true art demands compassion. No self-lashing, only curiosity's gentle probe. Kale journals not failures but harvests. Wend taught sway. Feel the freedom. Storms lose terror when you bend and bound. This snap fortifies obsession's blaze. But deeper realms beckon, abyssal work where time dissolves entirely. What plunge into genius waits, uninterrupted and infinite. The wire tightens, balance calls. Chapter 8. The Deep Work Abyss. Plunge with me now into the velvet abyss of a midnight ocean, where surface waves fade to nothingness, pressure building like the weight of unborn worlds. Yet down there, far below light's reach, a bioluminescent creature pulses alone, time stretching infinite, every motion pure, unhurried creation in the crushing dark. No ripples from above disturb its realm. It's entered the void where shallow efforts drown. Feel that pull in your depths right now, calling you from the frantic shallows of emails and errands into deep work, the sacred plunge where genius forges itself unseen. Your recoveries snap you back. Now descend fully. This abyss isn't terror, it's homecoming. Dive. The surface recedes forever. Deep work shatters the tyranny of shallow busyness. Those fragmented strokes that mimic progress, but birth only echoes. Shallow work scatters your brilliance across trivia's surface, replying, skimming, reacting, leaving the profound untouched. Your true gifts starved in the shallows. But the abyss, it demands blocks of sacred immersion, 4 uninterrupted hours where the world dissolves, ego yields, and flow state claims you. Time dilates, problems unravel like knots in warm water. Science illuminates, prefrontal symphony ignites. Creativity surges, 500%. Insights emerge from neural depths, untapped by distraction's glare. You're not working harder, you're vanishing into work that works you into legend. Schedule it ruthlessly, ritualize the descent, emerge transformed. Enter the life of Mirror, a sculptor in the rugged fjords of Norway. Ice winds carving her studio like nature's own chisel. Her vision, monumental figures from granite that whispered ancestral sagas, yet days bled shallow. Emails to galleries amid chisel dust, social posts of half-forms for validations hit, interruptions slicing her flow into brittle shards, pieces stalled, lifeless. One solstice eve, auroras painting the sky in ethereal fire. She sealed her fate. Studio doors bolted at dawn, sign proclaiming abyss engaged. 4 hours, no food, no sound but stone yielding to steel. First plunge, agony, mind clawed upward, body rebelled. Then fracture, granite parted like flesh, forms breathing free. Hours warped, she surfaced at noon, hands raw, a goddess emerging from block. Galleries clamored, her fjord exhibit drew thousands, whispering of souls reborn. Mirror's abyss, birthed, eternal. This descent awakens the mystic in your core, where self dissolves into pure becoming. The artist's trance, the sage's samadhi, union with the act itself. Ponder deeply. How many masterpieces lie drowned in your shallow tides? The abyss honors your vastness, surfacing latent architectures of thought. Ritualize entry. Dim lights to cave, hush. Single task, enshrined. Timer as guardian. Mirror burned pine resin for primal scent, anchoring her plunge. Yours might hum low theta waves or bare feet on earthen floors. Visualize the deep-sea vent, miles below, where life explodes in chemosynthetic fury. Blind tube worms, thriving in hydrothermal blaze, building ecosystems from darkness's alchemy. No sunlight needed, pressure fuels creation. You thrive there too. Block your golden window daily, phone entombed, door warded, world waved. Neuroscience confirms, sustained immersion thickens, creative circuits, birthing eureka from subconscious brew. Mirror's figures, now grace Oslo's halls, pilgrims touchstone alive with saga. Track your plunges, journal harvests. What surface today? Watch abyssal wealth compound. Yet, the abyss tempts eternity. Surface wisely, integrate with grace. Mirror emerges to sketch visions caught below, fueling next dives. Yours will ripple worlds. This plunge perfects obsession's fire, but unseen gates guard deeper realms. What inputs fortify the mind against invasion? The currents shift. Deeper still beckons. Chapter 9. Guard your mental gates. Stand with me at the towering gates of an ancient citadel carved into desert cliffs, sun-baked stone etched with runes of forgotten kings, massive iron portals groaning open only to the worthy beyond. Verdant gardens thrive in silence, while outside, sandstorms rage with lies and clamor. Feel the winds howl, testing your resolve. Those gates aren't stone, they're the portals of your mind, flinging wide to every whisper, every scroll, every poisoned thought that seeks entry. You've plunged the abyss, now seal the fortress. Inputs aren't passive, they're invaders or allies, forging your inner kingdom or razing it to ash. Choose now, bar the unworthy. Your sovereignty rises from this vigilant stand. Mental gates define your realm's essence. Unchecked floods erode focus's walls, planting doubt's weeds where visions should bloom. Negative feeds spike amygdala fire, cortisol cascades, drowning clarity. Toxic voices echo as inner critics, fracturing resolve. But curated vigilance, it cultivates neural oases, uplifting stories thickening resilience, circuits, wisdom streams, syncing heart-brain coherence. Science maps the breach, 80% of daily thoughts recycled garbage. Unless you curate, you're the sentinel, not victim. Audit inputs like a king rations wine. Banish doom loops, gossip vines, comparison traps. Invite only elixirs that sharpen your blade. Your mind's soil hungers for seeds of ascent. Travel to Soren, a marathon runner in New Zealand's misty fjords, peaks piercing clouds like accusatory fingers. Olympic dreams fueled his strides, yet training faltered amid media maelstroms, headlines of rivals' triumphs, forums dissecting failures, podcasts peddling shortcuts. This guardianship awakens your inner sovereign, the quiet authority knowing inputs shape destiny's architecture. Pause in your heart. What lately slipped through unchallenged? The feed fueling envy, the ear poisoning with lack. Spiritually, it's temple sanctity, mind as holy of holies, inputs as offerings. Soren etched gate rules on his water bottle, fuel or fire. Yours, morning audit, what entered yesterday. Gifts or graffiti, practice mercy. Unfollow without grudge. Conversations redirected with grace. Fascinating, but my mind trains for peaks. Feel the peace settle. Purity amplifies every prior chapter. Obsessions ignite unpoisoned abysses, plunge crystal clear. Envision the beekeeper tending hives at twilight, selecting nectar blooms with care. Dandelions discarded, rare manuka gathered, ensuring honey pure, golden, healing. Your mind's apiary thrives on choice nectar. Neuroscience affirms positive inputs boost neuroplasticity, carving optimism highways. Soren rotates audiobooks seasonally, winter resilience, summer speed. His journal tracking mood lifts, yours evolves, playlist of Victor's tales for commutes, reading nook stocked with architects of will, track shifts, weekly weigh-ins, energy journals revealing gait strength. Joy multiplies, clarity becomes default. Yet vigilance without wisdom breeds isolation, balance with discernment. Test inputs against your flame. Soren welcomes challenges now, debates honing edge. Yours fortifies the core, but momentum beckons beyond. What unstoppable force gathers from these triumphs? The gates clang shut on foes. Forward surges. Chapter 10. The Momentum Machine. Hear the low rumble building in the mountain's belly, a single pebble loosening from snow-packed heights, tumbling at first hesitant, gathering siblings in a whispering cascade, then accelerating, unstoppable, thundering down slopes as an avalanche that reshapes valleys below. Momentum thrives on physics of the soul. Newton's first law in human form. Objects in motion stay in motion unless acted upon by distractions you've already slain. Small wins release dopamine cascades, forging neural grooves deeper with each turn. Habits crystallize, resistance evaporates. Progress self-perpetuates like a flywheel humming to warp speed. Most falter at the nudge, craving instant avalanches. Masters savor the roll, logging victories to visualize the mass growing. Science quantifies daily streaks boost prefrontal tenacity by 30%, turning whims into wired imperatives. You're building not speed but mass. Unyielding gravitational pull drawing opportunities into orbit. Initiate tonight. One micro-win chained to the next. Journal as odometer. Meet Ria, a startup founder in Mumbai's monsoon-slicked streets. Her app idea, a bridge linking rural artisans to global markets. Trapped in pitch decks, gathering humidity's mold. Launches loomed distant, doubts piled like storm clouds. One lightning-cracked evening, amid chai steam and flickering power, she flipped the switch. One cold email sent before breakfast. Response, a polite no, but logged. Win 1, action taken. Next dawn, win 2, follow-up refined. Rejection again, victory etched. Week 2, chains lengthened, calls scripted, demos polished, networks mapped, momentum snowballed. A yes from a venture scout, team of 3 forming, beta live in months. Investors swarmed. Her app now empowers thousands threads of commerce weaving continents. This machine stirs the eternal rhythm in your spirit, the universe's pulse of accumulation, where faithfulness in little births lordship over much. Reflect softly. Where have you abandoned the role, mistaking slow for stalled? Momentum honors patience, compounding unseen like roots, delving before trees pierce sky. Ria pinned her journal open. Columns of action and harvest, streaks circled in red. Yours starts humble, dawn win. Bed made with intention. Midday task chunk devoured. Dusk reflection scribed. Celebrate invisibly. A fist to chest. Breath of gratitude, fueling the flywheel spin. Spiritually, it's faith made kinetic. Trusting the gather till the roar manifests. Envision the river stone smoothed to jewel over eons, not by frenzy, but ceaseless flow, tumbled, polished, emerging radiant from gravel's anonymity. Your winds tumble similarly. Neuroscience maps the surge. Wind streaks thicken reward pathways, slashing procrastination's grip. Rhea scales now her machine powering expansions, daily huddles logging collective pebbles. Track rigorously, app streaks or wall charts. Visual mass mounting. Miss a turn, no shame, restart without sermon, pebble anew. Feel the quicking. Inertia shifts. Creation accelerates. Yet machines demand maintenance, audit weekly. What's accelerating, what's dragging? Rhea prunes non-wins ruthlessly, doubling down on gold veins. Yours propels the fortress forward, but shadows lurk within. What fears whisper halt to the roll? The avalanche gathers. Shadows call to be faced. Chapter 11. Face the inner demons. Gaze into the heart of a cavern lit by a single torch's defiant flicker. Shadows writhing like living serpents on walls, slick with ancient damp. Their forms twisting into faces of doubt, fear, and hunger. Yet at the center, a warrior kneels, sword sheathed, eyes unblinking as he meets each phantom's stare, until they wither into smoke. Feel that torch's warmth on your skin now. Those demons aren't out there in the world's clamor. They coil within, birthing every distraction that yanks you from your path. Your momentum roars. Now confront the saboteurs at its core. This isn't battle with blade. It's the soul's raw reckoning, staring down the beasts that feast on your fire. Kneel with me. The light pierces. They flee or bow. Inner demons masquerade as distractions root. Fear of the empty canvas mocking your hand, craving for applause that dilutes solitary grind, whispers of not enough, chaining genius to hesitation's altar. They thrive in avoidance, spawning endless scrolls, fleeing failure's spectre, comfort binges, numbing ambition's ache. But facing transmutes poison to power. Psychology unveils, suppression balloons shadows, illumination shrinks them, amygdala calms, prefrontal wisdom reigns. You're not purging darkness, you're integrating it, forging wholeness from fracture. Journal nightly under torchlight. What demon tugged today? Name it, feel its lie dissolve. Watch chains snap. This confrontation crowns your sovereignty. Enter Nia, a dancer in Havana's sun-bleached studios, rhythms pulsing through cracked concrete like ancestral heartbeats. Her dream, choreograph a fusion piece, blending Afro-Cuban fire with contemporary whispers, stages worldwide awaiting. Yet rehearsals faltered, fear of blank studios birthed quick stretches into social reels. Approval hunger pulled her to group classes over solo sweat, inadequacies hiss looped. Your steps lack grace. Performances crumbled mid-leap. One moonless night, amid cigar smoke and distant congas, she entered her cavern mirror as portal, journal aflame. Fear of empty, she scribed first, then moved, imperfect pirouettes till terror fatigued. Craving eyes, she danced unseen for hours, joy blooming solo, not worthy lineage traced. Ancestors' leaps claimed as hers. Dawn broke. Demons named bowed. Her premiere fused worlds, audiences transfixed, careers ignited. Nia's cavern birthed luminary. This facing awakens your primordial courage. The spirit's forge, where vulnerability yields invincibility. The alchemist, turning leaden dread to golden resolve. Ponder in stillness, which demon wears your distraction's mask. The failure phantom birthing busy work, approval fiend chasing likes over craft. Spiritually, its shadow work, embracing the underbelly, completes the light, birthing authentic power. Nia ritualized, pre-dance circle on floor, demons voiced aloud. I see you, inadequacy. You serve no more than motion liberated. Yours, evening vigil pen, as sword trace origins, childhood echoes, past falls, then counter with truth. I am vessel enough. Feel the release. Wholeness expands. Demons become allies, fueling fiercer steps. Visualize the phoenix perched amid cooling ashes, wings singed yet unfurling, gazing inward at embers of old selves. Not fleeing heat, but rising renewed from self-faced inferno. Your rise mirror neuroscience charts transformation. Expressive writing halves anxiety, rewires threat circuits to growth. Nia tours globally now, teaching demon dance students, shedding skins mid-spin. Track yours, demon ledger, with lie, truth, action, streaks marking conquests. Resistance howls loudest at dawn. Persist, joy surges, focus flows unhindered, pure. Yet integration endures vigilance, demons evolve. Disguises sly, Nia audits monthly, cavern revisited. Yours completes the machine, shadows banished, but eternity's flame beckons. What lifelong vigil sustains this blaze undimmed? The cavern echoes empty, flame eternal calls. Chapter 12. The Eternal Flame. Witness the solitary flame dancing atop a Himalayan peak at eternal twilight, winds from 4 horizons clawing to extinguish it. Yet it endures, fed by unseen roots, delving into mountain heart, casting light that pierces clouds to guide wanderers for generations. No flicker of doubt, no surrender to gale. It burns perpetual, a beacon defying time's erosion. Feel that same unquenchable glow kindling in your chest now. You've journeyed through myths shattered, thieves banished, wills forged, boundaries etched, obsessions unleashed, recoveries mastered, abysses plumbed, gates sealed, momentum thundered, demons faced. This isn't the end, it's ignition. Dangerous focus crowns not in bursts, but in this eternal flame, tended daily into legend. Breathe it alive, your peak awake. Eternal focus demands lifelong stewardship, a sacred rhythm weaving every tool into perpetual blaze. Review weekly under starlight, audit pebbles rolled, abyssal harvests, demon conquests. Adjust like a flame trimmer snipping spent wicks for brighter reach. Celebrate invisibly, solitary nods to the mirror self, gratitude breaths, fueling roots deeper. Adapt fiercely, seasons shift, life's monsoons test, pivot without extinguishing, channeling gales into roar. Science whispers the code. Spaced reflection solidifies neural alloys, preventing rust. Micro-celebrations sustain dopamine reservoirs across decades. You're not sprinting marathons, you're the flame that outlasts eras, illuminating paths your eyes never see. Join me in the twilight of Hiroshi, a calligrapher, in Kyoto's whispering bamboo groves, brushes whispering ink across rice paper for half a century. Young, his strokes captured mountain essences. Fame flowed, yet distractions nipped, pupils clamoring, exhibits pulling, comforts dulling edge. Midlife, flame dim to ember. One autumn equinox, leaves carpeting his courtyard like fallen dreams. He recommitted dawn altar of inkstone and scroll, weekly scrolls reviewing life's kanji, triumphs inked bold, stumbles refined to wisdom strokes. Adaptations etched aging eyes, larger brushes from master bamboo. Students, guided apprenticeships preserving solitude. Celebrations, silent tea with finished works, honoring the eternal. Age 80, his exhibit drew emperor's heirs, strokes pulsed with lifetime's fire, teaching focus as art eternal. Hiroshi's flame lit dynasties. This vigilance touches the timeless in your essence, the soul's undying hunger to burn true, leaving embers that warm successors. Ponder across your journey. Maria's singular portraits, Javier's evicted ghosts, Lena's dawn codes, Tomas's kitchen thunder, Ayesha's dune sanctuary, Elias's wind concerto, Kale's bamboo pivots, Mira's granite goddesses, Soren's nectar gates, Ria's artisan bridges, Nia's liberated leaps. They all tended flames into infernos. Yours integrates them. Morning Forge, 5 minutes Willhammer, ruthless no-etched pre-dawn, battlefield swept, obsession voiced, recovery breath-cued, abyss blocked golden, inputs, audited dusk, streaks logged, demons journaled eve, weekly vigil. What fed my flame, what winds tested, adapt, new rituals for new chapters, celebrations as quiet altars. Feel the perpetuity settle. You're no longer seeker, your lighthouse. Envision the ancient oak, roots mirroring crown's vastness, weathering blizzards not by rigidity but supple sway. Storms pass, it stands taller, acorns, birthing forests unseen. Your flame mirrors daily tending thickens trunk, weekly trims, prune for vigor, neuroscience affirms. Lifelong practice myelinates mastery, eternally, compounding into effortless radiance. Hiroshi mentors ghosts now, scrolls echoing in museums, yours ripples eternities. Sustain with grace, forgive dim days, recommit without chains. Joy eternalizes here. Focus as love affair, not labor. We've crested the peak. Every chapter a root delving, wind withstood. Hiroshi's ink flows forever. Your flame will too. This eternal vigil completes the circle, but horizons gleam beyond. What legacies does your blaze illuminate next? Tend it fiercely. The world yields to the undimmed.